Well, you know, you can blame it on me if you want.
Hello, hello.
Good morning, Commissioner. Just waiting for everybody in 10:15.
Are you catering this phone call? I mean,
Am I catering it?
Yeah, it'd be pretty nice for you as the chairman to send some DoorDash to each one of us commissioners so we could all eat together while we're doing this.
Oh, I see.
Most meetings I go to, there are important people have some food or something, drink something.
Roop, sir.
Good morning, Commissioner Roop.
Good morning, all.
Commissioner Coleman here.
Good morning, good morning.
Morning, Commissioner.
Good morning.
Chairman, how quickly do you want to do this month includes? Like immediately?
Commissioner, I couldn't understand you. There was a lot of feedback.
I said, how quickly would you like to start the second meeting? Immediately upon adjournment, or are we going to set a time?
I mean, we can take 5 if people want a break, but the second meeting shouldn't. I mean, it shouldn't take long. So,
okay.
Kenny, sir.
Commissioner.
Good morning.
Sound all. We will begin in 2 minutes per the Sunshine Law. Now that we've all assembled. Okay, 10:15 has arrived. I believe all the commissioners are present, so we will go ahead and convene the April 22nd agenda meeting of the Public Service Commission. Again, due to COVID-19 and the governor's directive to close all state buildings, the commission will be conducting agendas via WebEx conferencing for at least the rest of this month. And I would ask those participating on the call to please mute your phones unless you need to speak to cut down on feedback. I will also note that the commission does have a closed personnel item after the open agenda items that we will be discussing today. So first up is to approve the minutes from April 15th, 2020. You all have seen those. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes for April 15th? Hearing none. All those in favor of approving the agenda minutes from April 15th, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. The minutes are approved 5-0. We do have 4 tariffs and new orders today, and then also a case discussion. So first up, file number GE 2020-0238. This is in the matter of the application of Rosaline Alternative Energy Services, LLC, for a permanent waiver from certain provisions of 20 CSR 4240-40.030. So Rosaline is seeking a waiver from the Commission gas odorization rule. The company's pipeline will transport gas for less than 9 miles in Mercer County to the A&R Interstate Pipeline. And since the A&R pipeline isn't odorized, Rosaline would have to remove any odorant that our regulations require be added before injecting it into the other pipeline. So staff reviewed the request and recommended that it be approved with 4 conditions, which are that Rosaline not serve Missouri customers from that gas transmission pipeline without prior commission approval, that the company conduct repeated leakage surveys and patrols along the entire length of the pipeline at least 4 times a year. And if they know, like through Missouri One call or something, that the pipeline is in the area of a planned excavation, that the company will have personnel on site to monitor for damage during the excavation project. OPC and the company have stated that they do not oppose staff's recommendation. Again, the odor is required as a safety measure, but I think the conditions proposed by staff ensure that gas safety is not compromised if we grant this waiver. So I support the order granting the waiver subject to staff's conditions, and also directing our data center to provide notice of this order to PHMSA. So I recommend that we support the order as drafted version 1. Commissioner Kinney?
I support the order as well.
Commissioner Roop?
I am in support of the order.
Commissioner Coleman?
I support the order.
And Commissioner Holzman?
I support the order.
All right. All those in favor of approving the order as drafted version 1 say aye. Aye.
Aye.
The order is approved 5-0. Next up, file number GR 2019-0125. This is in the matter of Summit Natural Gas of Missouri, Inc., changes to the company's purchase gas adjustment clause. This order establishes the ending balance for Summit's actual cost adjustments for the 2017 to 2018 period. These ending balances include staff's recommended adjustments in its April 2nd amended recommendation. Summit agreed with staff's recommendations for the company's northern and southern service areas. No other filings were received, so I recommend that we support the order as drafted version 1. Commissioner Kinney?
I am in support.
Commissioner Roop?
I am supporting the order.
Commissioner Coleman?
I'm in support.
And Commissioner Holzman?
I support the order.
All right. All those in favor of approving the order as drafted version 1 say aye. Aye.
Aye.
The order is approved 5-0. Next up, file number RO 2020-0098. This is in the matter of an investigatory docket to review the Lifeline program practices of Virgin Mobile USA, LP DBA Assurance Wireless, brought to you by Virgin Mobile. Last October, the Commission directed staff to investigate whether Assurance Wireless, brought to you by Virgin Mobile, qualified as an eligible telecommunications carrier under the FCC's Lifeline program. Staff initiated this review because the FCC was investigating allegations that Sprint Corp was improperly using Lifeline program funds. So earlier this month, staff filed a progress report on its investigation. Staff's very thorough report indicates that due to a software error, the company may have improperly received funds from Missouri Lifeline subscribers. Staff has requested that the Commission direct Assurance Wireless to provide updates and proof of refunds, but the Commission only opened this file as a fact-finding investigatory docket. This isn't a contested case, and therefore it's not the appropriate place for the Commission to direct action. So, consistent with this file, the Commission will direct staff to file another progress report in a few months on July 22nd regarding the status of its investigation and the company's compliance with the provisions for the Lifeline program. So I recommend that we support this order as drafted version 1. Commissioner Kinney?
I am in support of the order.
Commissioner Root?
Yeah, I support the order, and I think staff did a very thorough job on its investigation.
Agree. Commissioner Coleman?
I'm in support.
And Commissioner Holzman?
I support the order.
All right. All those in favor of approving the order as drafted version 1 say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
The order is approved 5-0. All right, final report and order today is file number GE 2020-0289. So this is in the matter of the application of Spire Missouri, Inc., DBA Spire, for a temporary variance from rule and tariff provisions relating to late payment fees and disconnection rules in a motion filed for expedited treatment. So the commission previously granted Spire's request for a temporary variance from rules and tariff provisions concerning the collection of late payment fees and disconnection due to COVID-19. The company's tariff sheets relating to the suspension of those fees currently extends to May 1st. Spire filed tariff sheets seeking to extend that waiver through the end of May. And Spire's motion indicates that both staff and OPC do not oppose the temporary variance and the expedited treatment for the tariff sheets. So I support the order as drafted, version 1, and again, want to thank the company for looking ahead and being flexible in response to this pandemic. Commissioner Kinney.
I'm in support.
Commissioner Root.
I'm in support, and I echo your comments.
Commissioner Coleman.
I am in support.
And Commissioner Holzman.
I support the order.
All right. All those in favor of approving the order as drafted, version 1, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
The order is approved 5-0. Also, want to point out, I think this is the first time in my memory, anyway, that we've done an entire set of orders that were all version 1. So good job, everybody, on drafting those orders this week. We do have a case discussion. So this is in file number ER 2019-0335. Judge DePel, are you on the line?
I'm on the line, yes.
All right. So you've provided us a memo. I believe the only question is what is the appropriate sharing mechanism? Should it be 95.5 or 85.15? Is that correct?
That's correct. This is the only remaining issue for the Ameren rate case, and that is the FAC sharing mechanism.
Okay. Well, thank you for a very helpful memo in this case. My position, I agree that Ameren and staff, with Ameren and staff, that 95.5 cost sharing is appropriate in this case. I think it's important to remember that we decide these cases separately based on facts and issues presented. And since there was a discussion at this hearing about OPC wanting to be consistent about pushing for 85.15 for all electric companies, I just want to make clear that this is a per case, per facts decision. So I think that the 95.5 sharing mechanism gives Ameren the incentive to procure fuel and purchase power cost efficiently, so they don't, so they have a potential for some earnings when costs are lower than was assumed, but it doesn't motivate them to take on too much risk. So in this case, I don't think that testimony demonstrated that changing the FAC sharing percentage to 85.15 would create a more cost-effective fuel and purchase power decision from Ameren. So I didn't see evidence that that would necessarily benefit customers. I also agree with Ameren that it might be seen as a punitive action when there was no showing of imprudent actions by the company in their existing FAC. And in fact, at the hearing, it was shown that we've never heard a complaint case alleging imprudent FAC costs against Ameren. So long story short, I support the 95.5. Commissioner Kinney?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First, I would like to thank the judge for a very detailed order, and I appreciate the parties on their stipulated agreement. And I would echo your comments, Mr. Chairman, specifically that there's nothing in the record showed any imprudence by Ameren. And so I would vote to keep the sharing mechanism at 95.5.
Commissioner Root?
Yeah, I also agree that the sharing percentage should stay at 95.5. And I'll echo both the comments of the chairman and Commissioner Kinney. But that being said, if evidence is available in a future case of imprudent fuel costs or that the current sharing percentages are not sufficient to control cost, which includes potentially the uneconomic dispatch of generating units, then I think revisiting the sharing percentage would be appropriate, and especially on a case-by-case basis.
Okay, Commissioner Coleman?
I echo the comments of that's been made and do support the 95.5 sharing mechanism.
All right, Commissioner Holzman?
I also agree with all the comments been made, with one exception. The legislature gave the commission the authority to adjust the 95.5, and it was put in place. I think we heard in testimony years ago, or how a while ago, with the intention then that it would be revisited, and it never was, and then it kind of got solidified. But I don't want the utilities to see a revisit of the discussion as punitive. I mean, it's possible that the outcome of the facts could be punitive, but the fact that we would take up the issue on a case-by-case basis to review the facts, determine if the change needs to be made, should not be in itself considered a punitive action by the commission towards the utility. So I'm for the 95.5 today because I think that's what the facts show in this case, but I don't think that we should just automatically accept that in future cases if indeed the facts show otherwise. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, I think that's fair. So, Judge, I think that's pretty clear direction in this case on that issue. Are there any questions from you or questions for the judge? Okay. Well, I think that we're good to go on that case discussion. So, the only thing that we have left, we do have a closed session item that we'll need to get to in a second. So before we do that, let's go ahead and look out at scheduling. Wednesday, April 29th, agenda again at 10:15 through WebEx. Wednesday, May 6th, agenda at 10:15. The governor's statewide shelter in place lasts through May 3rd. So we don't know if future agendas should be by phone or in person yet. So let's go ahead and plan that May 6th one for a WebEx again at 10:15. Wednesday, May 13. Again, similar situation. We'll take it as it comes on the reopening of things. So as of right now, 10:15 WebEx. Tuesday, May 19th through Wednesday, May 20th, we do have an evidentiary hearing scheduled in WA 2019-0299. This is Confluence River's application for authority to acquire certain water and sewer assets and a CCN. That will be Judge Hatcher at 9:45. If we do it in person, obviously they're in the building in 310. If not, we will facilitate web meeting for that as well. Wednesday, May 20th, agenda at 10:15. Monday, May 25th, obviously is Memorial Day, and Wednesday, May 27th, again, agenda at 10:15. Any questions, comments, or requests regarding scheduling through May 27th? Okay, seeing none, we do need to go into closed session to discuss personnel under section 610.021 sub 3 and or sub 13 RISMO. Do I have a motion to go into closed?
So moved.
All right, moved by Commissioner Coleman and seconded by Commissioner Roop. All those in favor of moving to closed sessions and then adjourning immediately upon the conclusion of that, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All right. The motion carries. So we will reconvene shortly in our closed session. Say within about 5 minutes or whenever everybody gets on and switched over. And then we will adjourn after that. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.